Hey, what's up, ADP family? And yes, you read that title correctly. There are so many reasons why you should go to Walt Disney World. We'll get into all of those because there's so many things happening right now. But we're going to tell you why you probably shouldn't go this year. Stay tuned.
This is another Disney podcast production.
Oh my goodness, you were super excited at that intro. Like I was genuinely interested in what you had to say. I mean, you were super excited to tell people not to go to Disney World. Yeah. Like, I mean, we just keep perpetuating this like grumpy old man stereotype that like we're over a year for this podcast and people are like, why do they talk about Disney? They clearly do not like it.
I don't know, man. That's what we're going to talk about. But man, we got some other things to talk about. That this is one of the first. I think this might be the first time that I'm absolutely laying into Disney. I mean, yeah, laying into them. I mean, it's all in good fun, but I'm basically calling them out, which I usually like. Should we just go there now? Because I've already started down the road.
Let's do it.
So here's the deal. There's a couple of things that are newsworthy that I think are talking about. And am I correct? Let me look at the date of this story. This might have dropped today.
I think it's today.
We're recording this Wednesday, April 20th. Wait, that's right. Hey, happy Earth Day. When everybody hears this, it's either Earth Day or it happened, which means it's another anniversary of Animal Kingdom. Look, squirrel. Like we're all over the place.
Squirrel.
Okay. I don't want to say that I've defended Disney, but like, even though we joke about being grumpy old men, I try to look, we do a podcast about Disney. I clearly like Disney. So I try to like, I don't want to be like, oh, these guys talk about it, have a Disney podcast, but all they do is complain about Disney. Like, I don't want that to be our MO. So we save that for personal conversations with friends, whatever. If we go on another show and it's a controversial topic, I'll share my thoughts. It's not my show, but for our show, I want to be like, hey, we love the magic. That's why we do a podcast. Maybe that's what we should have really named it. We love the magic.
It's an awfully long title.
We could come up with a acronym for it, like Anyway, okay, we're all over the place. All right, so to give the backstory, Disney has certainly been accused, not by me, not by us, of having several people. I guess the phrase that's being thrown around is a cash grab. And so to give you some examples, and again, I'm not saying I'm just going to go ahead and preface it up front. I've not defended Disney in any of these, but I also understand as somebody who, I don't own a business, but I own a side business, right? And so the purpose of that side business is to make money. So I understand from a business standpoint that they've made changes. The pandemic affected them grossly, and I mean that pun intended. And so I understand that things have changed. So if we talk about Fast Pass to Lightning Lane, right? I mean, you take something that was free, now they can make money off of it. Is that a cash grab? Many people think so. I get the reasoning behind it. Like, they found a way to monetize that and make some money off of it. I know that's the only example I'm going to give. So there could be several other examples. But Brandon, today,
this story, this takes the cash grab from expected to ridiculous.
Yeah, this is like, we are straight up calling you out. And I mean, I can't even find a positive way to spin. Like, it's not even cool. Like, I was hoping, I wanted to have the come from the aspect of, okay, I get it. Some people may like this, and some people may like this, but cool is not a word that I would associate with it, and it's definitely not pay for it cool. So here we go. Now that we've beat around the bush immensely. All right. From our good friends over at Blog Mickey, we're going to take excerpts from their article. If you do not follow them for your Disney news, I highly recommend it. Blogmickey.com. It's my favorite site by far. Here we go, folks. Buy a virtual spot on Cinderella Castle with new Cinderella Castle Mural of Memories. Even the name is awful.
What is this? Like, I've read the story 3 times and I still have no idea. I don't know what the purpose of it is.
I watched the video.
Don't get it. I haven't watched the video yet.
Which a cast member like runs. It's basically like showing it happen in real time. Okay, so let me give you, before we unpack it, let me give you the Dave and Brandon cliff notes or spark notes of this. Basically, you take a picture in front of the castle in the app from your personal device, and for $9.99, they'll store it there for 3 years. It's not even like forever. It's just for 3 years. So for $10, you can take a picture in front of the castle. And when you come back, you can like see, oh, here's my, what is it? Here's my mural of memories for $10, but it's only good for 36 months. Now I get it. I'm not joking. The fact that you pay for things, and just because you pay for something doesn't mean it lasts forever. I get it. You go to the movies, you pay for that 2 to 3 hour experience. That's it. Go to Walt Disney World, you pay $867 for 1 day at the park with park hopping that starts at 2 p.m. I get it. It doesn't last forever, but like weirdly, like, so it extends past, like, cause this is another addition to the 50th anniversary, right? They're plugging this as another, but that goes past the 50th, like it'll be over by then. Yeah. Believe it or not, it will actually be over by then. Let me read a little bit about it. Okay, so here is the experience available for $9.99 includes a spot of your choosing on available sections of Cinderella Castle to digitally pin your photo. That's right. Digitally pin your photo, which will be waiting for you and other guests to view again and again during your visit to Magic Kingdom Park. Hard stop right there. So it's not like you can open the app from home, go and see this and be like, hey, cool. This is literally only when you're in the park. Okay. The ability also, a special video of your photo flying from the castle that can be downloaded and shared. So there's the value. Loosely stated. So a flying photo is worth $10. Dumbo brings your photo from your special spot on the castle. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now,
the next part is the best part.
This was the kicker, because we've all, as annual pass holders, like yours still is like that. Mine is expired. So when I renew, I either have to pay $100 more, but Memory Maker used to be included. Well, now it's an additional add-on, which I think is well worth it. But here's what I didn't know for having Memory Maker so long. Ready for this number? The ability to download a high-resolution version of that pinned photo from your Disney PhotoPass gallery without the watermarks, which is a $16.95 value. It costs $17 to buy those photos?
That's a lot, and that's ridiculous.
Holy crap.
Now, what I haven't seen in here, this is an addition, like you have to have Memory Maker in order to do this, right? So if you're on regular vacation, right, it costs whatever it costs, $169 or whatever. So I got to pay $169 for Memory Maker to then pay $10 to put my picture on the castle, to then pay $17.
No, I think you get it. I think you get that.
It comes with
without the watermarks, which is a $16.95 value. But I think you're right. Well, maybe you don't even have to have Memory Maker. Maybe you don't.
Okay.
Maybe that's,
you can
again,
this
is fresh and new.
$10 and $26 you can pay, maybe.
Yeah.
If you really want this thing.
Mm-hmm. Wait for it.
That seems weird.
There's more. There's a bonus.
Ooh.
Are you ready for the bonus?
Bonus.
If you're a Disney cast member, an annual pass holder, a DVC member, or Club 33 member, you'll even receive a personalized border reflecting your affiliation.
Okay. Wow.
So we joke, but this is, I just like $10 for, what is it? I'm going to call it Mom. Mural of Memories to get your mom. It's a $10 value to get your mom in front of the castle. That sounds weird.
The Cinderella Castle mom.
This is when Matthew showed this to me this morning, like my jaw hit the floor. And here's what's crazy. They're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars on this.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to pay for this. Like, no doubt. I mean, we express amazement every time we have a conversation about something like this. I mean, they had the holiday parties this year that were $250 a pop. They sold out. Like, we were like, they're never going to sell that. People aren't going to want that. Like, people stayed on hold for 3 hours and sold out all of the events within a week. You know, like, this thing is going to make millions of dollars. And it's just, to me, like we talked about before we started, this is one of those times where I'm just like, Disney, like Chapek is like, I'm going out in flames, man. We're just grabbing all the money we can with the most ridiculous things we can. So yeah, this is, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm not going to pay for it ever, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I got nothing. Now I do want to, preface this with, because some people are probably going to be highly offended that we joke this like crazy. And hey, look, to each his own. You spend a lot of money at Disney. What's $10 for a flying photo memory?
Flying photo of mom.
Mural of memories. Because I do have to say this. I think I sent it to you the day that it came out, and I probably lost. Well, the day that was announced, I don't even know if it's out yet. I haven't looked because I'm scared to look, because the first one that I run into, I will immediately buy. And that is our friends over at Disneyland, in honor of the Main Street Electrical. Is that right? Main Street Electrical Parade?
Yep.
Okay.
Main Street Electrical.
It dropped a sipper and a popcorn bucket. The sipper is the little bug, or the little, whatever it was. Was it the butterfly? Maybe it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a little butterfly.
Yes. And then the popcorn bucket is the dragon. First of all, it
looks giant. From like, could you imagine carrying that thing around the park?
Yes. First of all, I'm not even going to tell you what its special amenities are. I was trying to think of a word that was in that blog article. But again, this is Disneyland. I absolutely love that parade. I have so many memories from that parade. I'm not going to Disneyland anytime soon. I am one of those idiots that is a 100% going to buy both of them. You know what else they do? They light up like the lights when they have them on in the parade. There is no expense that I will not pay. Okay, so just to say, yeah, Dave, you're going to probably spend $150 on some stupid sippers and a popcorn bucket, which is versus $10. So I get it. So everybody has their thing. However, I feel like this mural of memories was kind of created, so I don't know that you can really claim it. Like in my office, I have this giant bookshelf behind me that has like 4 or 5 rows. It is full of nothing but sippers and popcorn buckets from Walt Disney World. So I have a little problem to begin with, but yeah. So that's just me for all of those people who are like, what's the big deal, man? It's just a fun little photo. It's $10. And us joking the snot out of it. You can joke me for definitely going to buy those from eBay, because I'm not going to and pay 3 times the price of whatever they're called. Anyway.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like, if you look behind me, if you're watching us on YouTube, like, here's a sipper, or here's a popcorn bucket. Here's a popcorn bucket. Here's a sipper.
Yep.
But here's the difference. These are physically in my house.
Correct.
Like, I paid for these. I keep these forever. I can turn around and look at them anytime I want to see them. I cannot look at this mom, this Cinderella Castle mom, at any point.
Oh, boy.
Now, I may be able to see it because I'm actually pretty close to Cinderella Castle where I live.
Yes.
So it may work at my house. You never know. But to me, it just seems weird. Seems like a cash grab. In that Blog Mickey article, I did see something cool. They're giving it to all cast members for free.
There you go.
So that, I mean, hey, cast members, you can't afford to eat, but you got a picture of the castle.
Maybe they're worried that no one's going to pay for it, so at least somebody will be on.
Maybe somebody will at least have it. So yeah, I mean, I just don't get like.
Yeah. This is blatantly.
Are you going to plan it? a trip to come back to Walt Disney World to be like, guys, let's get our family of 12. I got to show you my virtual picture on the castle.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really weird. It's
it's weird.
I mean, it is a cool way, I will say, now to talk about the positives. It's a cool way to embrace like some really neat things that we can do with technology these days. The problem is the charge. Like that is like, this is absolutely a cool thing that should have just been created to go along with the 50th anniversary. It should have launched the first day of the 50th anniversary and should have ended when the 50th anniversary ends and should have been free.
Yeah.
This is just literally an experiment.
All their other like augmented reality, virtual reality filters, like most of them are free. Like Mickey Mouse will pop up over your shoulder, or you can take some pictures around Magic Kingdom where there's stuff in the background, but like $10. They're like, how can we just make a quick 3 million?
Yeah. I think this is an experiment to see like, let's do this thing. Let's charge for it and see how much money. Like, I think it's measurable. Can we do something like this? And how much money can we make? Because on the front end, again, I don't understand all of the technology behind this kind of stuff, but on the front end, you're just paying a staff of people that probably already, it's not like they hired people to do this, right? They probably have a team, came up with this idea, came up with a way, implemented it and created it. And like, now it's done. So now it's just literally, other than the server space that they're paying to store it, this is just like it's rent free for the rest of the time.
It just works.
I don't know, man. Let's go on to something positive. Okay, so
let's do it.
I haven't. We know that the cast member previews have started for the Guardians ride.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Obviously, they have an NDA regardless, which means a non-disclosure agreement. For those of you who don't understand all the weird things in life with their acronyms, basically they're not allowed to say anything because it's not available to the public even in a preview. Those are coming really soon, but the little hint drops that I've heard, one of them was people are going to love this, and another one that I saw is this is going to be the new favorite thing. And I'm like, okay, like both of those sound like fair. I have some questions about that, but you have a little teeny weeny bit more insight that you can give. So unpack it a little bit.
Yeah. So I was, taking a look at the Facebook blogs, especially on the annual pass holder page. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cast members that are part of that group as well. They provide awesome information, but there's a lot of pictures with them standing in front of the ship that's in front of the Cosmic Rewind. And these are the things that they have said vaguely and generically. People ask a lot about the motion sickness because apparently the cars rotate, right? They spin around, they point you towards the action and the direction you should be looking. They said it's very smooth, it's not herky jerky. You should not get motion sick on it. The thing that concerned me, because what we've been hearing, like, this is going to be a great ride. It's going to be like intense. It's going to be fun. And as we've talked about on our show before, Disney is lacking in the thrill ride category right now.
Right.
And what a lot of these cast members are saying, instead of they're like, it's not so much like Rock and Roller Coaster or Everest, but it's more like Slinky Dog.
Oh no.
Or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh,
so this is the thing that concerns me. Other than the cool visuals, will the ride itself be that exciting? Is it going to be exciting because it's new and it's something that's not anywhere else in the world? Or is it going to be exciting because it's an actually good ride? And that's something I'm going to have to wait to judge for myself. I am going to go on the 15th of May for the pass holder preview. So I will be sure to report back, but I'm a little concerned that it's being overhyped.
Yeah. I mean, that comes with it, I guess. They're going to plug their newest, latest, and greatest. Now I know that the technology of the ride I'm excited about, like what the car does on the track. If you haven't seen any small videos of like cast members riding it, and when I say like, it's probably more like Imagineers riding it. It's really creative and cool. But yeah, like I did not know that that's what people were comparing them to. And then so to me, that loses to me. That potentially loses some of its, I don't know, thrill ride possibility.
Yeah.
That does kind of bother.
Yeah.
Because I will say this. I know you haven't been to Disneyland yet. I was really like when they changed Tower of Terror at California Adventure. I was like, stupid. You're ruining it. You're absolutely ruining it.
Mhm.
I will say it is so uniquely different than Tower of Terror. I like it equally as much, maybe even more. And so I know
Okay.
the quality of what they can do with that cast. I'm assuming the cast is involved in some way, right? They like the movie cast is okay.
Yes. I know they filmed stuff.
Right. So and what they did, I can't wait till you get to experience it in Disneyland because it is really it is, I mean, other than being in the same building and the same ride ergonomics, like it's just really well done. Anyway, so
Gotcha.
maybe they're
Gotcha.
leaning on that, but interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. I can't.
Yeah, so-
I don't know when I'll be there. It's summer or fall, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. So I was able to find that post, and this is what the cast member wrote.
Okay,
So
good.
Here's what you need to know about Guardians of the Galaxy. Number one, the Imagineers outdid themselves with this one. Everything I've heard about it is it's visually stunning. The queue is stunning. It's super awesome to look at. So that part I do not doubt.
Okay.
The second thing says I would not say it spins, it rotates.
Yes.
Think Primeval Whirl with a couple 360 spins.
Oh gosh.
You don't really notice you're rotating though because it's so smooth. If you get motion sickness, might not be for you. So that's point number 2.
Huh.
Point number 3, it's inside and in the dark. There are no big drops and it does not go upside down. So that's the part that's concerning to me is
Yeah.
like we thought maybe this was going to be some sort of thrill ride, but there's no big drops. There's no upside down. So if you were thinking it was going to be at all like Rock and Roller Coaster, it is not. Number 4, intensity is similar to Seven Dwarfs or Slinky Dog,
Wow.
but it seems a little bit more intense because of the music. So
Yes.
again, this is like when I read this, like it's like Slinky Dog or Seven Dwarfs, and you have to rely on the music to make it seem more intense. That doesn't excite me. So I'm concerned about that a little bit.
Okay.
It's an extremely smooth ride, doesn't jerk you around at all. And then the launch apparently is backwards, but
fun.
it says that the launch is no worse than Everest. It's actually probably a little less than the backwards in Everest. So those are the 4 or 5 things that the cast member was able to say without giving away too much of it. Some of it excites me. A lot of it does not.
Yeah, I had zero apprehension about that ride until I heard those 4 or 5 points. Now I'm kind of like, but hey,
Yeah.
as those of us who watched, I always call it Horizons, Harmonious. On when we were there for the 50th and we watched it online and absolutely bashed it like crazy. And now it's like our most favorite thing ever. I'm willing to give it a whirl.
Yeah. I'm willing to give it a whirl as well. And I'm going to on May the 15th. So I will certainly let you
You're like
know what it's
2.5
about.
weeks away.
2.5 weeks. But the thing that's so funny is like there's articles down here in the papers and they're like Disney is getting ready to unveil their Universal Killers, right? So they're dubbing Guardians of the Galaxy and the Tron roller coaster as Universal Killers. Now I have been to Universal. I have been on the Velocicoaster. I have been on, some of their other roller coasters. These are not going to kill Universal people. No. This is just something new that'll hopefully bring more people to Walt Disney World.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool way. It's also how you get Marvel into the park, right?
Yeah. I mean, slowly but surely we will integrate them into the park. Yeah.
And again, man, the Tower Mission Breakout, I think is what it's called. It's so good. So good. Okay.
Yeah. I've seen the videos, some YouTube videos, and it looks awesome.
Wild.
So
and of course,
one day I will
amazing.
get to experience it.
You better not go without me. Or when you go, I'm tagging along. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Your bride would be like, oh God, can't we just do Disney without the Daniels?
He's here again.
Okay. So my super excited tease at the beginning of the episode is, and this is more of a, based on what I've seen, I'm not really excited about going in 2022. Now, to be fair, we were fortunate enough to go the first day that the 50th opened, October 1st, but that was last year. And that was still, I wouldn't call it the height of the pandemic, but it was definitely, a lot of things were still in place then that aren't in place now. I guess we'll put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, in it. That's a good way to say it. And so it's easy for me to say, right? But if you're thinking about it, I wanted to unpack a couple of reasons why I think that, man, it might be worth waiting another year. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is, it's the 50th anniversary, right? So that obviously is causing larger crowds. People want to come experience that, get the merch, see the castle, experience whatever stuff makes the 50th the 50th. I don't know. They've added so much since day one when we were there. Yeah. And so, like, I get that, but just know that everything is, I don't know, like packed, more expensive. I don't think that does have something to do with the 50th, I think. But yeah, I mean, so waiting till after the 50th, you're going to have a chunk of people who wanted to experience the 50th, and then it'll come back in a couple of years. You'll have that.
Yeah.
Two,
have that for
you
sure.
know, you've got, I'm still guessing, I'm believing in you, Disney, that you've got several new attractions, right? We've already got Remy's that is launched. Moana Journey of Water is well on its way. They put up some big pieces this week, big pieces of steel or scaffolding, whatever it was. And then of course, Guardians is on the precipice. And then we know we have Tron. So that's another thing that's going to bring more people in 2022 is the excitement of new things to do at Walt Disney World that you've never been able to do before. Right. So that I think is 2 points. And then the third one, and then we'll unpack all of these. And then the third one I think is the biggie. And that is, we have reached a point over probably, I don't know, right up at the beginning of the holidays of 2021 through where we are now, end of April 2022, has been a change enough in what's been happening with the pandemic that people have felt safe enough to travel that maybe didn't travel for 2+ years because of that. And so you've got that onslaught of all these people that are cooped up, and, you know, maybe they kept some of that stimulus money specifically for a Disney vacation, and now they feel safe and comfortable to travel, and they're going. So I think those 3 reasons right there combine enough that it's worth waiting, because I know that the crowds are insane this year. And I think those 3 things contribute to that, and they won't be here in 2023. Well, how far into 2023 does the 50th go? It's got to be early.
So 18 months. So let's see, October to October plus 6 months. So what's that? April?
Yeah. So this time next year, it'll be over.
Yeah. This time next year, it'll be over. And I agree. I mean, those 3 things are definitely the number one drivers to how crowded Disney World is now. You got the 50th anniversary. I mean, you got diehard Disney fans like us, right? Like, and we wanted to be there the first day of the 50th. You know, some people are like, I'm a diehard Disney fan, but I don't want to fight the crowd there for the 50th on the very first day. I don't want to fight during the holidays. I don't want to fight during the beginning of the year. My kid's in school. So there's a lot of diehard Disney fans that still want to be part of that 50th anniversary celebration that have to get there during the 50th. And I think that's enough of the Disney attendance fandom, if you will, that it's going to keep that driving through whenever it ends sometime next year this time. So I agree. The 50th anniversary in itself is a pretty good driver of crowds. The second one, what'd you say the second one was?
New attractions, obviously, like new things to do that didn't exist before.
Yes. So yeah, obviously Remy brought people. Guardians is opening. Tron is looking to be on the precipice of opening, maybe sometime at the end of this year. So that again, and we've talked about this in the shows before. They do stuff. They space stuff out just enough that it's going to keep people filling the bucket
Right. I've got to go back
for the
because I got to
foreseeable
experience
future.
this. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I was planning on going this January and I knew Guardians was opening up in May and I love Guardians, I'm pushing my January trip to May. So, there's a bunch of people who would do that throughout the year based on what they see.
Right.
And then obviously the pandemic, I just traveled back to Maryland this past week to see family. We flew, the airports are as full as ever. People are flying everywhere. The planes are completely full. So people are ready to get out, travel, get back. I mean, I think Disney is still, the reservations are still, jam-packed,
right?
No park availability every day. So I think that plays a lot into it as well. People are just ready to travel. A lot of people were cooped up forever. So it's definitely packed. But yeah, those are great reasons. And I agree with all of them. And the one thing I would just wanted to add as far as that is just the amount of construction. Like I would wait simply because the amount of construction. Just take one park, Epcot, right? They're building the Moana Journey of Water. So things are starting to open now, like Connections Cafe is opening and Creation Shop is opening and those things. But really the whole front of that park is still closed. It's still dirt. So just the amount of construction that's going on in Epcot and other parts of the resort would be enough for me if I want to get the full experience of Walt Disney World to just hold off for a year. All that stuff will be done and I can experience it all.
Yeah, I think like all of that is, I mean, there's so many other points as to why not to, but I think why, well, let me just clarify. I chose those three because I think those are all contributing to height in crowds.
Yes.
I could be wrong. Like Disney's never not going to be busy, but I would be shocked if next summer we see the numbers like we're going to see in summer of 2022, right? Because again, you still got people who've yet to travel, right? We just had, look at January, February, March, April, right? Look at all of that, like people that didn't want to go through holidays or decided, their Christmas present is they're going. And so they went early January, early February. Then you had for the first time in how many years, Pee Wee football and cheerleader competitions are back. Meanwhile, they weren't staying on property, but they were back. Like that's been a couple years since that happened for that. So there are all of these things and these experiences that have been gone for a couple of years that are also so everybody's like, yes, we get to go again. Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm sure there's marching band competitions that happen at in and around Central Florida and they go to Disney World, all that kind of stuff. I just think all of this is amplified or heightened because of COVID. And so next year, I would be shocked to see if we see these same numbers, right? And let's be honest, the sticker shock right now to do a Walt Disney World vacation is obviously no different than any other year, but more than it's ever been. But it feels like right now it's even more because all of these things that used to be included now are paid services, i.e. Magical Express, keeping your car and parking it on property if you drive in. Hotel prices are up, ticket prices are up. You
got to do Genie Plus,
right? Genie Plus,
individual Lightning Lane, all this stuff that used to be free, and
so that all automatically adds to it. Plus the inflation is through the roof right now. So that's why. I just think, we've got ebb and flows and obviously COVID, there's no way anybody could predict, this is one that was no one would have expected. Right. I think it's caused everything to jumble up and I think we're seeing that this year. And so that is why, if you want to go this year, we're not saying don't go, but here is I would be shocked if we were still seeing what we're seeing now next year in 2023.
I agree. And I truly hope, having been here for 4 years now, that it gets back to what it used to be. Obviously they're never going to drop the reservations, but I hope it gets back to the point where I can get off work and be like, let's go to the Magic Kingdom and just grab a reservation and go. I hope that, it's just easier to navigate around the park. I don't think Genie Plus is ever going to go away. I think Disney is starting to realize that Genie Plus isn't the best thing that they've ever done. I think it was at Disneyland, but I think even Disney sent out like a push notification to all Disney Magical Experience, whatever the heck it's called, that said, hey, make sure, one, if you're going to buy Genie Plus, that there are rides available, and two, it's non-refundable. So don't buy it if you're not going to use it. So I think they're starting to realize that like that may not be the best way to go, or they need to increase the price of it, which we've been advocating for forever. But yeah, I mean, all of these things, it just costs more money to do everything at Disney, but it's not stopping people from coming. And that's the amazing part, is that no matter how much you see people complain about on Facebook or message boards, the parks are still full. So let's ride the wave for a year, and hopefully it will dissipate.
I just have like there's a lot of exciting things right now, like in 2 years, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of exciting things. It's going to be like the Disney of old, because all of this new stuff is now old hat. Like, it's still, it's not going to be any less fun to experience. I mean, look how many times I come down there a year, right? And it's the same old Disney. We do the same old things. It's all about being there. And, I just think that it just, I don't know how else to say it. Obviously we can't predict the future, but I just don't, there is like these three things that are colliding kind of at the same time that no one could have predicted, that I think have like put your crowds and your wait times through the roof. Like, just forget about the cost, because that's clearly not stopping anybody, right? I just think that it'd be worth the wait if you don't care about the 50th. It's kind of like, hey, as people who go there all the time, I have no problem telling you, like, it's all going to be there next year. And the year after that, and the year after that, it's all still going to be there. Yeah, you won't. You might not be able to get that 50th shirt or whatever, but that I get, and you won't be able to experience that. But it's like, go to the 60th.
Exactly. I mean, and we've been to the 50th celebration. There's nothing particularly, as we've talked about, there's nothing particularly extra magical about it, right? Other than the fact that there are banners up that say it's the 50th.
Right.
There's a little bit of merchandise that says it's the 50th. There's nothing super special. There's the fireworks show is the 50th celebration firework, but unless you knew that, it just looks like a fireworks show.
Yeah.
Harmonious is cool, but it doesn't reference anything to do with the 50th. And things at Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, nothing says 50th. So unless you're a huge Disney fan that just has to say, I went during the 50th celebration sometime during 21, 22, 23, skip it. Let the crowds go. Let everybody experience the stuff like crazy. This is kind of how it is at Galaxy's Edge now, right? Like when Galaxy's Edge opened, like it was slammed. Everybody went there. Aside from Rise of the Resistance, which is still crazy, the rest of Galaxy's Edge is pretty manageable. You can walk around, you can get on an attraction, you can eat in a restaurant, get the green milk, the blue milk. Like it's very manageable now. And I think that that's how this wave will crest. Guardians, Tron, 50th will end, and then we'll be back to where there's actually a slow season at Disney, which it doesn't exist now, but hopefully we'll come back.
At least a week or two here and there. I think it will get back to some sense of where they can catch their breath. And and like we've joked a couple of times, I recommend going back to, I think I titled it October 1st or October 1st, 1973. I can't remember. October 1st, 50 years. I forget but that we kind of unpack our trip. And like, guys, we were there in Magic Kingdom from sun up to when the park closed. And here's the short of it. Other than there was merch that dropped that day that obviously if you didn't get it, you'd be stuck on eBay trying to find it. And they gave you a poster leaving the park, but there was nothing else that signified today is our birthday at any point during the day other than those two things.
Correct.
That's it. Yeah. Not even like you guys, if you haven't seen this, search Disneyland reopening after COVID. I don't know. That'll probably find it, where basically Main Street was lined with the who's who of Disney upper echelon. Like they were all there for the 50th. I saw Josh tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah.
But they were all there. And so like where the difference was, they were right there on the street welcoming guests, but they weren't there saying, welcome to our birthday celebration. And again, that's what it is. It's come celebrate our birthday. They're not giving you anything. They're asking you to come celebrate their birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no agreement here. There's no handshake of here's what we're going to give you. So, yeah, I don't know. It was like, am I glad we did it? Heck yeah. Was it cool to be there? Absolutely. But like, again, we walked away with kind of some head scratching moments. I guess that's the best way. Listen to that show. Yeah. It's worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely listen to it. And again, if you're not, I have to be at Disney in 2022.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is wait till 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Disney. I'm going to go to Disney. I still have my annual pass, unlike some other person on this show that doesn't. I'm still going to go, but it used to be at the top of my list. And I have to say that there are a lot of other things that are at the top of my list now other than going to Disney. I still love it. And I hope that it gets back to where I just want to go there every single day, but this is kind of the season we're in.
Yeah.
So skip it.
I think if you're an annual pass holder and you're local, you have to it is an extreme, and you can speak to this better than I can. It is an extreme amount of effort to be able to make that happen. There is no, like we talked about last week. Hey, Krista, you want to go hang out at Magic Kingdom for a couple hours, get a Starbucks, take some pictures on Main Street? You might have to plan that out 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks in advance.
8 weeks in advance.
I think you're going to have to, I think where it's going to need to be for you and for locals that feel the same tension that you're feeling, I think that's going to need to be where the reservation system exists, just so it's got to get to the point where you're telling Disney that you're coming, not that let me see if there's availability on that day. Yeah. That's the page turn that has to happen. Right. Yeah. The page turn that has to happen is when you're just going on and saying, I'm going to Magic Kingdom tomorrow. Because right now that's not. And so I think it will get to that point that the reservation system will literally just be hey, it's kind of like buying a movie ticket. Like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm coming to that show on Friday. That's basically, it needs to transition to that, which I think it will. I do not think that will happen during the 50th. Do not.
No.
Don't put that in stone, but I do not think it'll be, and maybe even after that. But it will get to that point where basically it's just, now we know how many people are coming.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope it gets there sooner rather than later, but the world is what the world is right now. And we haven't heard anything else from Disney again. Obviously, I think in the shareholder meetings, they said it will never get back to 100% capacity, or full capacity. I don't think they ever said 100% capacity, but it'll be interesting.
I feel like that's a blind statement anyway, because even when they had to shut the parks down for New Year's or Christmas, were they really at full capacity, or did they just say we're not letting anymore? You know what I'm saying? Has that park ever been at full capacity? Probably
I
not.
doubt. I mean, I've heard real full capacity of Magic Kingdom's probably, I don't know, 110,000 people.
That's a lot.
Something like that, which is a lot of people. There's no place to park cars for 110,000 people. So I don't think they've ever really been in there, but then you just have to, what kind of staff level do they have? You have to have a certain amount of staff, to a certain amount of people. So if you only have, say, 400 staff members in the park, you can't have 110,000 people. It's just, it just doesn't work. And stuff still isn't all the way open.
Right.
You know, there's still restaurants that aren't fully open. I did see Victoria and Albert's is opening, and then Sebastian's Bistro at the Caribbean Beach Resort. So stuff is starting to come back around, but we're still not at 100%, operation.
Even things in the parks, they've just added character meet and greets are just back, and not all of them are back. They just announced that Mike and Sully at Hollywood Studios and One Man's Dream are they're coming back. They've announced it, but it doesn't happen. So, okay. I hate that I always wait to the end of episodes to do this, but if you are planning a Disney vacation, I cannot recommend more than our other show that we do on our ADP network, which is Plan for the Magic. It is Audrey and I have been lifelong friends, and she is a Disney fan that has now gone through the roof. They're now APs. They're now DVC members. So they've had an interesting past year. But we do a show where we just focus on planning to go to Walt Disney World. And so it's anything and everything that you can think of. And actually this week, today, we dropped our 20th episode. So there's a good catalog.
I did watch it.
There's a good catalog. I gave you a shout out, and I think I called you out. Maybe I called you out.
Did. Thank you. Thank you. Well, speaking of calling out, didn't she just get back from Disney World?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They went for a spring break, I think.
Oh, did you drop a brother a line? Come on.
Oh,
man.
I know. I didn't even think about that. That's probably my fault. I should have connected you.
It's messed up.
And she stayed at the Poly. Y'all could have went to the monorail crawl.
It's messed up. Messed up.
There you go, Odd. That's on you and me a little bit. So yeah, check out our show. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Plan for the Magic. Unfortunately, I'm on that
also,
show.
if you're planning, check out Fly Mickey Traveler. Friend Tom over
Yeah.
there. He's awesome. He will help you plan your Disney vacation. Even though we just spent the last 40 minutes telling you not to go to Walt Disney World.
But you got to plan your next
Please, you got to plan it. Check out Fly Mickey Travel.
Yeah.
Check out Plan for the Magic.
one. Love it. Rosa, this is always fun. I'm glad we always come up with rando things to talk about.
We always do.
And I can't wait to see.
That's what makes it so great.
I can't wait to see your mural of memories, by the way.
Oh, I can't wait to show you my mom.
I know your mom. All right, family.
All right.
Until next time. Bicycle.
Until next time. Peace.